So last point of interruption. Can you explain your specific role? So is there a procurement governance architecture that's consistently applied throughout? So would you form a subcommittee with a department that want to procure something? Who would be therein? Who makes a final determination on whether, a procurement will go ahead and so on? So I'm just trying to understand that bit, then we can move to cybersecurity.
Sure. At the moment, Chair, the way we engage with customers, or let's say departments or organs of state, the government department or organ of state would come to SITA and say, I have a problem in this area. Can you provide me a solution? Right? So what we call it is a tasking. Government department would task SITA saying, I need a solution to help me in this area. Whether it be in your end user computing, whether it be laptops, whether it be... The first thing we do is we assess this service, is it mandatory or non-mandatory by nature of the... And then we advise the government department on how to go about doing it. So we would say it's mandatory, SITA has a capability, there's the proposal, we'll provide you the service. If it's not mandatory, then we give the department an option. If we do have a capability in the non-mandatory space, because as I indicated, we have built capability in non-mandatory space as well, the government department has an option, we give them a proposal, they may say, okay, I see it, but I prefer to go to industry. And then if they say they prefer to go to industry, then they're asking for a procurement service. Right? That's mandatory, that we then administer. They do the specifications, they work everything out, we just administer the process. Now, the sense mandatory says, in that way, SITA is looking at, are you duplicating things that are common? Because that's why we test, is it a mandatory type of service? Because then it's a common type of service. So in a way, we try to prevent government departments from duplicating things that are common. But then, Chair, this cybersecurity and link to the landscape, I want to bring this question into that. So the question is, I think everybody understands SITA, you're the state agency. So you should be controlling the whole of IT, end to end. That's the feeling that you get when you listen to the media, when people ask questions. The reality is, we did an assessment last year just to try and quantify what is the landscape of SITA across the entire national and provincial government ICT landscape. SITA covers 37% of that landscape. 37%. 63% is managed by government departments themselves with industry, without SITA involvement at all. So then a lot of people will get shocked at that statement, because the understanding is that SITA controls the entire landscape. It doesn't. So that non-mandatory side is quite large, especially in the application space. And that's why I mentioned we need to rationalize applications, because there are duplications in applications across government, and the application space is not rationalized. When SITA was created, the easier services got rationalized, like the network. Simple network everybody gets on is fine. Hostings and data centers, a lot of that is rationalized, but still there's a lot of data centers that are not controlled by SITA, it's controlled by government departments. So those applications that SITA don't maintain and support, government departments do on their own. They generally take that application and host it on the infrastructure controlled by them, or they would go to private sector and put it on the private sector's infrastructure. Now when you do that, now you're exposing government data into an ecosystem that is not protected. When I say not protected, it's not protected by the state. Because if you go into any data center that's owned by the private sector, your data is not secure. You don't even know in some cases whether it's in country or it's not in country, those type of things. Now let's come to the cyber attack part. We get media releases, a government department is attacked. The first question is, SITA, you are responsible for IT. You are responsible to secure services. How come? What's going on? Majority, and I can safely say that when I say majority, I'm talking 99.99% of the time, SITA is not involved because it's part of the 67% of the landscape, not the 37. Oh, sorry, 63%, not the 37%. But SITA, what we do, every time we hear about that, we reach out to that government department to try and help them to recover from, because cyber attack, you can't say you'll never get cyber attacked. You will get cyber attacked. The question is, how do you recover from being attacked? That's what's important. It's a question of when, it's not a question of if you get cyber attacked. So we help government departments to recover, and then we start talking about, can we help you to then secure your environment? And that's why the assessments, we do it at our own cost at SITA. We assess government departments, we show them where their weaknesses are, and then we even say, this is our proposals in terms of tightening up on that security. So that's how we've been operating. But I hope, Chair, that gives a perspective.
No, thanks very much.